Ooh. Hi, this is the Change and Grow Wellness Show, the show for you, the busy professional who wants to live a healthier, happier life with increased energy and productivity. And I'm your host, Jackie Grant, and we are going to be talking about what you need to know before going on another diet. So, have you gone on diets in the past and that didn't work? I'm sure that you have. I challenge you to ask yourself, why didn't they work? Why didn't it work for you? Resist the temptation to blame the diet. Take ownership. What didn't you do? What didn't work? What didn't you commit to? What weren't you willing to feel? So really focus on your piece. It will be really empowering. Okay. So we tend to believe we can sign up for a program or a diet, still eat whatever we want, even though and even though we know that hasn't worked in the past. So we like to vilify the program, the diet before we don't want to ask ourselves the hard questions. So why are we overeating or not losing weight? And then we blame the diet and then diet and then we don't lose weight. We do not feel then that you have to resist the feelings of deprivation, anxiety, or whatever negative emotions we may be feeling when we have to say no to things we want. So then we associate the negative emotions with the diet instead of associating it with not being able to do whatever we want. It's a huge difference. So diets are just a way of eating, guys. Now, many people have success on diets. They've success for a little while and then they gain the weight back. Many people quit before they see the results. So if you have success with a diet and then you go off the diet and you gain the weight back, it was not because of the diet did not work. It was because you either did not deal with your emotions around food properly, or you did not do the work to become aware of your body and understand the effects food has on it. Yeah. So if you are relying on a diet to provide you with the exact nutrition plan for your complex body and emotions, and you don't have any input into the decision making, then you're relying on something external that could, actually disconnect you from the wisdom of your own mind and body. So So let's take a look at 3 reasons why most people overeat or choose unhealthy foods. So, 1, they're unable to recognize and manage their emotions about food. They completely lack awareness of their body's hunger cues and fullness. They don't know what to eat in order to lose weight or be healthy. I suppose there's a fourth, that they just don't, someone just doesn't care. Okay, so let's dive into these. So deal with the emotions. Let's be real. Changing how we eat is really hard. Yeah, food has a lot to do with what we do and how we feel. So when you've had a long day at work, you come home, you take care of the kids all evening, you hardly get a moment to yourself, and then finally at 9:30 you get to sit down and relax, and you deserve something, maybe a glass of wine, a sweet treat. You deserve it, and you do deserve a break. But do you need alcohol or food or anything external to reward you? Can you just be content and happy without anything external? So this is an example of food being used because of how we feel and not because we're hungry. And it's not always a bad thing to enjoy something and, some peace and quiet after a long day with food and wine. But if it becomes a regular occurrence, then once in a while, indulgent, then you're eating food because of an emotion. Okay? Then there's a flip side. You may be eating out of boredom, frustration, self-pity, irritation, or stress. And this is something, also something that we see in smokers. Yeah, they get stressed, they use cigarettes for a temporary escape. So here's the problem with that: the food or cigarette are temporary. While it may take your mind off of whatever unmanaged emotion or you're feeling, once it's gone, you're left with wanting more. So instead of dealing with emotion, you're trying to mask it. Yeah? Is that connecting with you? So your job then is to address why you're overeating in the first place. So let's say the brain wants to eat sugar. Allowing yourself to feel that. Maybe you feel anxious or frustrated, and then you resist the urge without reacting. Just because you have a feeling to eat does not mean you need to apply it. Okay? So it's important to recognize the negative emotions and urges and not to indulge in self-pity, indulge, etc. Accept the negative urges and emotions as part of life. I hope this is becoming clear to you. I hope you're connecting with some of these things that I'm, starting to bring up for you. Now, the next point is lack of body awareness. So diets tend to create awareness because you're paying attention to what you're eating, yeah? So people struggle with diet and exercise their whole life, struggle with understanding hunger cues, yeah? How emotion drive their movement and eating decision, and how stress impacts their bodies. So people who have success with weight loss are aware of the decisions, what they're doing, and how they're feeling. They're not overly obsessed with what they eat, but they're able to make some mostly healthy choices most of the time. They enjoy the food they really love, and they say no foods they don't. So how do you get to this place? How can you have that for you? Well, there's a few tips and tactics that I'm going to share with you in a minute, but really it is start acting the way you would if you already reached the goal before it ever feels natural. So if you've got a goal to lose, say, 30 pounds and you feel happy and confident in your body, you have to start taking those actions now. You would eat how you'd eat if you lost weight, and you would do the things you would do, and you will feel happy and confident. It's a kind of like bringing home a new baby. It feels completely foreign and scary and overwhelming, and you know that you're supposed to feed this baby and change the nappies and bathe your baby and all the things, so you do them. You probably don't do them perfectly. You fumble around through the actions of parenting and it doesn't feel natural. You don't have one night where the baby just won't stop crying and you think, must be the worst parent. But you don't give up. You don't bring that baby back to the hospital, do you? You continue to, do all the things, and eventually over time, change the nappies, it's a doddle. Once you've done it multiple attempts, you do it in seconds. So you don't even think about it. Getting stressed, getting the child dressed or feed him in, over time, it became easier. Yeah? So because you were performing all the actions before it felt right, yeah, it made it really easy to step into the role of parenting over time. Yeah? So when you perform the actions that you need to perform in order to eat healthy and live your best life, it will feel unnatural, like anything, and awkward and uncomfortable at first. And you may not feel like yourself. But if you keep doing the things that you know you have to do, they will eventually become natural. You won't even think twice about the which order on the menu or what to eat while on holiday. You'll be able to choose the healthy option. Sometimes you know when it's worth indulging now and then. And that is how you make healthy eating living a lifestyle, not a quick fix or a 6-week meal plan or a latest fad diet. Yeah. Okay, so for now, for some more tips and tactics. Moderation is all about navigating the middle ground between starving and stuffed. So many people experience fullness or hunger at extremes, starving and stuffed. So practice feeling and acknowledging hunger without going right to a food choice you will later regret. So learn to navigate the middle ground between starving and stuffed and manage your hunger. Hunger and fullness is really important piece of the puzzle. So learn what foods are actually delicious, what foods are not, and aim to eat at 80%. I mean, I always say there's, it's like the petrol gauge in the car, where you're just coming up to, the light comes on, the red light comes on and tells you, right, it's time to start thinking about filling up the car. So you start thinking about filling up the car because you think, I've probably got another, I don't know, 300 miles, 30 miles, because the gauge has gone red. And that's your time to start thinking, right, I need to start to plan to eat something. And then when you get the healthy food choice, because you haven't got to the point where you've gone, oh, I'm starving, I need to just eat something, and I just need to rush and go and get something. When you've got to that point, you then make a healthy choice. You eat till 7 and not till stuffed, not till you can't unbutton your trousers. Yeah. So eating at 80% full, then ask yourself if you could wait 20 minutes to eat to decide if you were still hungry. Could you wait 20 minutes? Yeah. Have you got to the red? And guess what? You can be hungry sometimes. In fact, you should be hungry more than stuffed if you want to lose weight. Many times we eat so frequently, we don't even know what hunger feels like anymore. We can't feel that hunger hormone that tells us that we're hungry. So when you're hungry, eat. When you're not, stop eating or don't eat. So the next piece is what to eat, yeah? What to eat. And I know you all know this piece. You all know this piece. Keep it simple, where you are making healthy upgrades when you can. So making meals healthier basically comes down to 2 things: what you eat and how you eat. Yeah. We've talked a bit about how you eat in terms of your hunger cues. That's part of it. What you eat, well, most of you know this, if not all, is that you aim to eat, include protein in each meal, healthy fats in each meal, making sure that you get some vegetables and fruit in your diet. The recommended is 5 a day, obviously, but that is not optimal. That is recommended. Yeah, so that's up to 5 servings. So eat more nutrient-dense whole foods, add whole grains, and eat less processed foods, sugar, drink alcohol less, and drink more water. So, these are things that you more or less know anyway. So how you eat, enjoy your rooms, be mindful. Be mindful. So making sure that you take the time to sit down, chew your food, in terms of chewing, make sure you chew each bite 30 times. I've said this quite a few times in some of my videos. 30 times people go, what? because the average person chews about 3 times. But you want digestion to start. You want your body, your saliva to start digestion off. So, it's key. It's key to chew your food. Yeah. I'll give you a challenge. Yeah, that you can do with yourself. Let your next meal take you 20 minutes to eat. Yeah. Let your next meal take that time. And that's when you start to bring in being mindful about your eating when you chew your food more. Make sure that the food is amazing colors, amazing, it's just lovely colors that you like really want to tuck into. You taste the flavors, you take the time, actually sitting back and taking the time to enjoy your food. Yeah. And just start to think about how you feel after you've eaten something, and actually after you've had something, and then 2 hours after that, what does your body feel like? Connect with yourself and connect with what your body feels like after having had that food, and be aware of your portion control. So I tend to use a smaller plate most of the time, unless I fill it up with salad and quinoa, which is one of my base things is quinoa at the moment. Using the smaller plates makes you more likely to have smaller portions, and notice when you are full. Yeah. So if you increase your awareness of your body, have an understanding how your brain works, you can better control your thoughts, feelings, and actions around food. This will take time, guys. It will take time. Just have patience and practice. And practice patience. Yeah. Think about it like this. You can be uncomfortable about being overweight. You can feel frustrated by diets and defeated when things do not work, or unenjoyable feelings. Or you can feel the short-term discomfort of not eating sugar or saying no to the second serving. Either way, there will be negative feelings and discomfort. So why not choose the discomfort that moves you towards your goal? So please let me know if this resonates with you, and if you'd like some extra support. I am going to be doing a 14-day sugar-free challenge in my group, and it's going to be in September. So if you're really interested in starting to build in some ways of being mindful eating, looking at how you eat, what you eat, just considering all the areas that I've spoke about today, then come into my group, which is Balanced Hormones for Fat Loss. Just look up my Facebook group and you can come inside, and we will be starting a nice 14-day sugar-free challenge. It's a women-only group, so only women are allowed in my group, but that 14-day sugar